they get excited and start dancing, that's when you really notice that they can't. Yeah, it's just like, what beat is that? You on the 1 and the 3. You on the 1 and the 3 right now. You get on this 2 and 4. Sorry.
Wait, you didn't finish saying what you were saying. Did we get off on a tangent? You forgot what you were saying? You were done?
Oh, what I do is my passion. I forgot it was a 2-part question. I'm sorry.
So you need me to break the questions up?
No. I mean, I don't get asked what is your passion every day, so I kind of forgot it was in there. Oh, well, no, I did say it. My passion is to tell black stories from all angles. Yeah.
You're so good. Like,
I know I said it in there somewhere.
Did you have media training? Like, you're answering questions and just right. We're about to be done with the interview.
I've been doing this a long time. Like, I've been a creative since 8. Like, I was selling bracelets. I remember I used to sell, like, remember when people used to do lanyards? Mm-hmm, so I used to do the lanyards and make them into bracelets, and I, like, wrote out, like, a little ordering book. Mm-hmm. And you could, like, open it up, and it used to be like, you can get the snake, or you can get the box, or the telephone pole bracelet. And that was my first hustle as a kid. And then I had a paper route. I had 2 paper routes where I actually had to collect the money every week. And then I used to make t-shirts, and that's how I sold t-shirts in college. I used to paint people's names, and that's when I got invited to work for Mesquite. But then I didn't make the interview because my car broke down on the way there.
Oh my God!
Yeah. That's when Mesquite was huge. Remember that? Mm-hmm. It was a hand painted brand. They saw my portfolio, and they was just like, we want to bring you in for an interview. And yeah, that was my first creative letdown. So what were you
thinking in your head when your car broke down and you're on your way to a major opportunity?
I mean, like, you know me, I'm always just like, it is what it is, like, just pick up and move on to the next. Like, you know, so I still, like, painted and stuff. And then I worked, and then I got an interview with South Pole. And that's when South Pole was 90, what did she say, 99.7% Asian. So, like, when I went, it was like, I went to 2 Asian interviews, and then when I went to the last interview, it was a black woman. And I remember she asked me, she was like, do you know who the face of South Pole is? And I was like, yeah, it's Marcus Houston. And she was like, no, it's not. It was somebody else that she said. And then she was like, when you come to interviews, you need to be prepared. Like, da-da-da-da. And I was just like, yo, I interviewed with 2 Asians, and they said I was, like, great. And then I get to this black woman, and she just, like, ran down on me and was just like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to hire you because you're not prepared. So I was just like, oh shit, like this entertainment shit is like crazy. Like, it is crazy.
But what's so crazy is that, like, you get to someone of your same melanin.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they feel they have to be 10 times harder on you.
And I get it.
Or lock you out because there's this feeling of like, if I have a seat at the table, I'm the only person that can be at the table.
Right.
If another person of color comes to the table, it's going to knock me out.
It's going to knock me out. It's going to be a threat. It's going to be, and a lot of times, like, because you know me, like, people look at me as like a threat. Because like you said, like, I come prepared. Because my dad didn't play that. He always said, make sure you're prepared. Like, he didn't play, I don't know. Like, my parents did not, when you said something, you had to know why it happened. Like, if a teacher said, why are you talking to, you had to give them a reason. There was no, I don't know, or, so when it comes to, like, my brands and, like, my companies that I'm trying to build, it's just, like, I already know where I'm trying to go. I'm just trying to bring people along with it. And if you're not with it, like, you just gotta, like, keep moving. You gotta keep moving.
I get it. Totally understand. So what is the CWF network?
So back in 2014, when I moved to Baltimore, I had to walk 2 miles to the train every day, in the morning at 6 a.m. and at night coming home. My life, this is a story to tell every week on the CWF network. I tell my crazy stories. But yeah, so Tobias and them used to be asleep, and like I used to be like, I have to get to this train station because I had to walk 2 miles, take a train, then take a bus to get to work by 8 o'clock.
Oh my God.
And no one wanted to give me a 5-minute ride to the train station. So I had to, like, fuck it.
Wow.
Like, walking was this before Uber really became a thing. Uber just came out. So on the walks, I started listening. That's when Joe Budden came out his podcast, and Charlemagne was out with his. And so I used to listen to them. So when I called Craig, I was like, yo, we should record our conversations, like, because we have funny, interesting conversations. Because, you know, I went to all white high school, HBCU, Like, and then I lived in the hood, but I've also lived in nice areas. So like I have a mix and blend of the shit that I can talk about. And I'm very reference based when I have jokes and shit. Like, cause I've seen stuff, I've watched stuff. So when it comes to that, I said, we should record our conversations because it's the craziest thing. So that's how Conversation with Friends came. And it was supposed to be like a telephone call where you were on three-way.
I remember. I was
you was a guest. You was an early guest. That's when we had guests. We don't have guests no more. But, we found our bag with that. And then eventually I was like, you know what? Why am I out here promoting a podcast by myself? I'm just out here promoting heavy. When I can bring on other little shows. They can promote their show, so when my show goes off, then their show comes on. Now they have a new listener. And when their show goes off and my show comes on next, now I have a new listener. So it was supposed to be like a one-channel thing where everybody just comes and listens to these short contents. Like, we live in a world where everything's so quick. So that's why I created shows 15 minutes or less. Like, it's 30-minute content under 30 minutes, but most of the shows are under 15 because it's just like, most times, we just like to hear shit and keep it moving. Yeah. Like, you don't want to hear a long, drawn-out explanation of stuff. Like, you want it quick, small content, and big content and small pieces. But, that's what it is. So,
big content, small pieces.
You want the big point, but you want it in a small amount of time.
That's good. I like that.
Home of the original content. Yeah, people out here trying to steal my network.
Oh!
Yeah.
Shade?
No, it's all sun.
Oh, God.
It's all sun. When you leave my network to go start a podcast network, and your caption reads the same as mine except 2 words, you didn't change 2 words.
Crazy.
Like, it's crazy what creatives do out here. But everybody's not original,
right? And
I get it. I get it. It's easier to steal than come up with your own.
Well, it's amazing to see where you have brought your career. Because it's like we started from the bottom of the bottom.
We did.
So let's tell them how we met. I want to know, what was your first impression of me when we did meet? We met one drunken night at Lincoln University in the LLC.
I wasn't that drunk. I was the DJ that night, so I couldn't be that drunk. I had to get the mix right. All the finger snapping music and all the rhythms.
Me and my friends were looking for a party because I think, what was that? Was my sophomore year? Was that sophomore year?
Yeah. Yep.
Where was I living sophomore year? Oh, I was living in LLC sophomore year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ashley and all of them, they came over. We was trying to find a party, and we found y'all.
I was throwing a party and I said, come on in for a drink. You guys want some punch? And you said, what is this? And I said, it's Jiggy Punch. And y'all said, what the hell is Jiggy? It's a punch that I created.
Mush always trying to make some punch and get people faded.
Jiggy Punch was that invisible Kool-Aid. That was my ingredient. I used to use the invisible one that turned out clear.
Yeah.
Some Everclear and some.
Was that in Ziana Punch too?
Yes. Oh no, the Ziana Punch was clear. The Jiggy Punch was red. Yes. So I had the 2 punches that people still ask me about to this day. Maybe I should bottle it. Ooh.
You got it.
If you're a liquor line, holla at me. I got ideas.
So what was your first impression of me when we met?
You was on a cheerleader squad then? No, not at that point.
So I tried out for the cheerleading squad my freshman year. I made it, and then I didn't like the girls, and so I quit. I think I went to a week of practice, and then I quit.
But to see them now with a whole stadium and band, it's kind of dope to see it. Where
I would so be a Lincoln cheerleader now.
Yeah. I definitely would have been in the band, carrying around a tuba or something in the bag.
A tuba? You would have figured it out.
I would have figured it out.
I thought, when I was at Lincoln, I really thought that I was going to be in the, they had a choir. Remember the choir that
the travel choir.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be in it. That was one of the selling points for me to go to Lincoln. Then I got there, I had no desire to do anything.
It was,
I just wanted to be at school with a whole bunch of black people.
Social, yes.
And because I didn't grow up that way. I grew up with parents that really made sure they instilled what it is to be a black woman and how to operate in America as a black woman, how to climb up the ladder and how to bring people of color with you. That was instilled.
Yeah.
And how to ask questions and how to educate yourself because the school system is not going to educate you. I remember my father telling me, so I just need you to be aware that you're going to spend a month learning about the Holocaust and a day learning about slavery. And slavery lasted longer than anything. And we don't spend any time on that subject. So he always told me that I was going to have to seek out information for myself.
Yes.
And that was one reason why I wanted to go to a HBCU. Like, to know that you're in, like, when we're at the chapel on campus, and to know that that was, like, where they hid slaves that were coming up north. You know what I mean? Like, to be a part of that.
To know it was the first one.
Yeah!
That
And I need y'all to understand, 1854 first HBCU. For sure.
So, you know, now I live in North Carolina, so A&T is like the big, you know, HBCU there. So I'm in a room, and I'm just like, it's a room, a whole bunch of A&T people. So I'm just like, I went to HBCU too. They're like, where? I'm like, Lincoln. They're like, where's that? I was like, it's the first HBCU. It's like, they was like, does that really count as a HBCU? I said, it's the first one. They said, are you sure? I said, I went there. I would know if it was the first one. Like, hello. So they laughed me out the room. I was just like, geez, like. I
don't understand, like, what is that?
It's a regional thing, because, like, we know all the HBCUs, the Morgans, the Coppins, the Dell States, you know, all of those down to probably, like, Virginia. After that, we don't really know, like, you know, the popular ones. You know the popular ones.
But I also feel like when I chose to go to a HBCU, I educated myself on what were the other HBCUs. So I know that there's another Lincoln University.
In Missouri.
Right. I know what's that other, there's other schools.
There's a lot
down south that, you know, are HBCUs that I probably don't know of, but if somebody told me about them and said they're HBCU, I'm not gonna fight the
like
fact
Mega
that
Evers.
it's a HBCU. So Mega Evers is not technically an HBCU.
Really?
Yeah. People try to put it under as a HBCU because the people that go to the school is predominantly people of color. But it's not. It's one of those tricky ones.
Like Cheney. And their thing for the first, they always said that they're first. Somebody else said that.
They're not first.
They're not first. Oh, not first.
Once upon a time, you went to Cheney, and it didn't matter that you went to
love.
Cheney because you couldn't. It wasn't accredited. So
How my drip look? I'm trying to keep up with.
So how important was it, you know, going to a HBCU? How did that, like, help mold and shape you now?
I think going to a HBCU, like, provides the opportunity to really know your blackness before we enter the world and learn the stupidness that surrounds blackness. So it's just like, you know, even when I got to school, it was just like, oh, you talk like the white kid. But the thing is, but if you know my parents, you know, I was reading Roots in the Malcolm X book at 12. And yeah, I used to have this shirt that said 100% black family on it. You know them old black cartoon shirts from the 90s? My parents used to always make me wear like 100% black and like Zulu Nation. And
Zulu Nation!
So it was very black in my home. But then, like, you know, my parents always wanted me to be in the best settings, which, you know, unfortunately, they think always happens to be the white ones. And so that's what it was. But then, like, I knew my blackness going into school, but to really see black people from other places was just like, okay. So you got to learn, like, people from here and people from there. And I think learning places was, like, my key to be like, okay, that's how I connect with everybody. Because I'll be like, oh, I lived there. Oh, I lived there before. Oh, I've been there. Oh, you talking about this place there? And people are like, how the hell do you know that? I'm like, I lived. You know, I, like you said, I made sure I researched it for myself. Like, if I go to a new city, I'm not going to just go and just wait for somebody else to show me. I'm going to look it up. I Google everything before I go, so I can be like, oh, let me go here because that's where I see, you know, online says is a good place. So let me be prepared.
Right.
And I feel like that just really helps. You know, networking it is what it is.
I feel like going to Lincoln really helped me with building a network and the importance of your network.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's people that, like, still to this day that I keep in contact with that have hired me to do their makeup.
Yep.
I've done weddings of people that I went to school with. Yeah. Yo, Lincoln.
But isn't it funny how it's always the people that you didn't really speak to at school that really support you, like write you inboxes like, yo, I really think you're so dope. And I'm just like, we ain't never spoke.
But the people that I like rode with every day, where they at?
They ain't nowhere to be found. They ain't nowhere to be found.
I haven't talked to them since maybe a couple of years after college.
You gotta learn how to move on, like, and then that's just what it is. Sometimes you just gotta just keep pushing forward. Because if we stop and wait for people, and that's why sometimes with the network, I feel like I could have been further if I didn't try to bring people along with me. But you know, when I used to start, you know, trying to get my clothing line popping and shit, and I would ask people for features, and they blog in their blogs and shit. That's the blog era. Like, oh, can I, you know, be featured here? And oh, yeah, email me. Oh, yeah, let's do lunch. All of that. And then you just get nothing. Just dead silence. No emails returned. And then you see them again like, yo, like, what's going on? And then they're like, oh, yeah, I got you. And then dead silence again. So I used to be like, yo, I just wish there was somebody who could just, like, be like, oh, I love what you're doing. Let me help you.
Yeah.
So I feel like now that I have this network, I want to be that guy. It's like, yo, I see you have potential. Let me help you. Like, let me give you the tips that I know work for me trying to come up and what I learned and the mistakes that I made. Let me give you some tips on how to do this. Let me give you some tips on how to promote yourself.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But, you know, everybody, you know, they want it, but then they don't really want it.
True.
They don't really want it.
True.
And you know, a lot of creatives say like, oh yeah, I want to be big and stuff like that. But then when the opportunity comes, they're not prepared. And that's the biggest downfall of most of them. Like,
what is it? Success is when opportunity meets preparation. Ain't it? I think that sounds smart. It sounds like it's accurate.
Put that on a shirt.
I should.
A white shirt, black letters.
Black letters. And then hashtag Tish and Friends on the back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. It's all about that branding.
Because you know what? Tish and Friends, for me, is all about being prepared. So I have big dreams of wanting to be an on-camera personality, be able to like be a correspondent when it comes to like beauty, doing videos,
I agree,
or Instagram takeovers or whatever. And this is my online portfolio.
Right, it's my portfolio.
Because how are people supposed to know that you can do something if you don't even show that you're doing it?
But you know, that's one of the biggest issues. Because I'll be helping people till I'm like sick in the head. But then I'm like, why don't you just apply? Like, I was talking to somebody and I was like, yo, I need a star for the network. And they're like, Mush, you are the star. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, you're right. But like, I can't because like, and I'm trying to get out of that.
Yeah.
Cause you know I'm a lot, and people just be like not liking me.
You know what? So what?
But I don't care now. Listen, I'm about to be 36 years old. I don't got fucking time to be playing with these motherfuckers.
I'm finally at a place where it's like, if I'm too much for you, that's your problem. That's not my problem. Because people that really want to be around me and love me and care about me or enjoy the content that I produce, they love my allotness.
But you know, it came from like losing jobs. Like, I would get picked over because like my energy was threatening, or like I was like too much personality in the room.
In a box.
But you know, but that's back when, you know, the internet was still developing. I feel like now you can show exactly who you are, so when you go into these meetings, it's just like, this is what this is what you're getting.
Right.
You know, when we were starting, it was kind of like you kind of blogged, you kind of Twittered, you kind of like try to do all of that to try to create some type of online persona that you can present. But now it's just like, you got to sell yourself. Like, that's what sells now.
Yeah.
Selling yourself. But it's just like, I just feel like I'm like one step behind the whole Instagram stories every day, Instagram live 2 times a day. Like, I feel like I'm one step behind the people who love to do that. Like,
yeah,
I could be on it, but I could really go back to payphone days. Like, that's just...
Yo, I seen a payphone the other day.
Yeah, I could go... Man, listen, I used to call the operator
and
like, I need to call my mom.
Dude using it.
He's probably peeing.
No.
That's what they use for now. Obviously,
he was definitely, because sometimes I still see just the payphone inserts. No, I seen a payphone, working payphone in Jersey City.
I mean, you gotta get that call off.
Like, that's crazy.
If he came up to you like, "Ma, can I use your phone?"
No.
You gonna let him?
No.
Like, I'm gonna put it on speaker.
I don't care who you are. Right?
I'ma hold it. Get your hands back.
Yeah.
I like this little setup.
Thank
I feel
you.
like a rotisserie chicken in
I'm
this
not
light
even
though.
trying. I've come kind of far in
It's
my
a
life.
nice little setup.
You know?
It feels nice in the Tish and Friends room. Hey, the air's great over here. You guys should try it. Subscribe. Click the bell.
Yes! Click the bell! So what are some special projects that you have coming up?
You know, we are working on a scripted podcast, which is also going to be sold as a book.
Come on,
Which I
New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, but I want to sell it as a book, like, but it's gonna look like a manuscript. It's not gonna be like an actual book, like. But I'm thinking about getting like some animators to kind of fill in like some of the pictures, so it can kind of be like a little picture book with the text. But yes, it's about a politician who used to be a club promoter who's now a politician.
What?
Yeah, coming soon, Murky Waters.
Sound like James St. Patrick.
It's in the lane of Councilman Tate.
Councilman Tate!
Yeah.
I was just watching Councilman Tate on Love Jones the other day.
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen that. Wait. That's my only movie. You can't take away my black.
Well, you know what? I never
Say something
watched what's that show with that's based in Baltimore?
The Corner? Wait.
No.
The Wire.
The Corner!
No, The Corner was one. The Corner was a spinoff of The Wire.
Oh, The Wire. I watched one episode.
I've seen a couple. Not enough to be a fan, but
because this is the thing. I was not into all of the urban shoot 'em up, sell drugs, kill, boom, boom at the time that was out. I'm a black girl from upper middle class neighborhood in Long Island.
I'm a bad girl.
And I felt like art did not imitate my life.
Gotcha.
Art always imitated black art. Always imitated the hood. And it was like, that's not my life. Like, the only thing that I remember being on television that imitated how I grew up was the Bill Cosby Show.
Oh, I was about to say The Token.
The Cosbys. Like, that's what my life looked like. Growing up in a house, not in the inner city, but like growing up in a house, having friends over, having parents that are well off, and you know what I mean? Like, you don't have certain worries.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't care about Be More Careful. Like, why do I care about that book? Why do I care? Like, I didn't care about that stuff. And I remember
Be more careful.
since I was in high school, and I know I will do it one day because I do want to be an author. I've always wanted to write a book that was based on that Black America.
Yeah.
Because we don't talk about that Black America.
But that's what I mean. Like, so,
So yeah, I'm ready for us to see Black people in a different light as far as like the demographic, like the financial demographic, like where I think we've gotten that with power a little bit. Like, even though they're drug dealers and killers.
I'm about to say, in the worst parents ever.
But they're drug dealers and killers, but they're
still a family.
They've send Tariq to a great private school.
Okay, to choke.
Like,
Only to sell
he
drugs.
is the only black kid in the room. Like,
Yeah.
that's the closest we've gotten.
Have you seen David Makes Man? Good show. On OWN. Oprah's new show.
Oprah got a new show?
Yeah, David and Ava DuVernay.
Oh.
David Makes Man. It's pretty good. But yeah, power. But no, I understand. That's why my goal is to tell black stories from all angles. Because I feel like you said, there's so many angles that don't show, and I want to get the person who who knows about this and can talk about this, and the person who knows about that can talk about that. That's why I'm trying to create that. You know, I want somebody from the hood, but I also want somebody from the suburbs. I want somebody who travels, and I want somebody like all of those people have stories to tell. So if you could tell your story in a quick amount of time, then.
And I think if we were able to put our stories out more, there wouldn't be so much. What's the word? It's not like judgment. It wouldn't be so much judgment when we're meeting other black people from different demographics. So like my freshman year at Lincoln, my nickname was Whitley and Hillary, because that's what people grew up seeing. You know what I mean?
A well-spoken.
Exactly. And like going to Lincoln, that demographic, as far as financially, I was at the top of the totem pole, where like if I would have went to Spelman, I would have been at the bottom of the totem pole financially. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
The black boule. Listen. But so my experience was that I was the Whitley of the group. I was the...
Well, don't worry. My parents said they sent Theo Huxtable to college and Malcolm X came back.
Yo! My mom said Angela Davis came back.
My parents was like, why are you so black? When I came back, I was just like, who are y'all? This is who y'all raised me to be.
Right.
Yo, I'm like, the black man said. It took me a while to readjust to like.
Yes.
Because I only wanted to be in black settings, like, black clubs, black workplaces. And you kind of get into this fantasy land. Like.
But you know what? Why can't it be that? Like when I worked on The Rundown with Robin Thede,
that was a great little
it was 85% people of color.
Oh, I messed up.
Like, and it was just like
good times.
When I tell you, yo, thank you, Robin, for creating a space like that.
That was a dope setting.
When I came into work, I could put on a shirt that said Black Girl Magic or Black Girls Rock and nobody feel a certain type of way. I could wear a head wrap and nobody's looking at me crazy. I could talk about melanin nutritional facts on a shirt and nobody's looking at my shirt like, what is this? I was never too much. Like
for the workplace.
It was never like if I had my hair, I could switch up my hair every day and nobody.
And they know what it is.
Exactly.
They're not gonna ask you like, no, is that a wig?
What is going on?
Is that pieces in there? Why do you brush your hair? You don't even have hair. I used to hate when they said that to me.
And it was. I'm
like, the fuck you think is going on my scalp?
That it's such a refreshing environment because people that are not of color, they go through life being the majority in the room. And being in a space that they're comfortable in. It's like why we can't why can't we have that also or create that, because they create it all the time. Intentionally.
That's what we're trying to create with a platform such as this. Welcome to YouTube.
You know, we're not gonna get too heavy. So last thing. What's your daily mantra?
You're gonna have an office over Central Park.
Oh.
That's my shit. Like I say it every day. Like you're gonna overlook Central Park. You're gonna overlook Central Park. Like that is. If I come back to New York, that's the only way I'm gonna be able to come back. Like that is my goal. I want an office with a view, and I want that shit to be mine. So. Nice.
I fuck with that. Like for real.
But I wish I had like one of those cool ones that like I see people always chanting.
No, that's actually better.
You know what? Let me give a recommendation. So the guy from Shark Tank, what's the guy who did Fubu? Damon John. His like motivational rap album. It's like a spoken word, but it's like for motivation. And he has this song called Visualize It, and like he just tells you to like visualize everything that you want and like exactly how you want it, like every day. So that's where I got that whole like you're gonna have an office over Central Park. So you have a chance to check it out on Spotify.
I need to check that out, because isn't Damon like a rags to riches story?
Yes. Starting Fubu and
So he wasn't like a rich kid that had money to start. He's a rags to riches.
Yeah. I always love those. You know, those are always great. This is gonna be me. I'm gonna tell you how I try to cook a whole chicken in the microwave.
What? What type of chicken? A Cornish hen?
No, a whole chicken. This is my early days when I thought I was popping. It said microwave oven. So I thought, why not? I just got a little bowl and put that shit on. It said chicken option, so I pressed chicken. She came out white.
Oh God!
Just like a little garlic powder on top of this whole thing. It was terrible. And then I moved to Hamburger Helper, and that was my shit for years. The bacon cheeseburger.
So confession, I've never had Hamburger Helper.
I mean, it's all it is just like seasoning, and you just put it on top of your.
I've never had Hamburger Helper.
Never had sloppy Joe?
I've never had. No, I've had sloppy Joe. My mom made sloppy Joe all the time.
Oh yeah, she's a New York girl.
Yeah.
So is my mom. My mom loves a sloppy Joe.
What's another thing that I never had?
You had a knish before?
No, I've never had Vienna sausages. Have you ever had Vienna sausages?
Mm-hmm.
My father talks about them all the time. Never.
I'm like a wild eater. I'll eat anything. Like I'll try it once. We wasn't allowed to say no as kids. Like we weren't those.
Really?
My mom was just like eat it, and she would do this thing
My
from
mother
across the
always
room.
gave me options.
And I used to do this like gag thing. Like my dad be sitting over like, if you throw that up.
Yo, I actually used to physically throw up when I didn't like something.
Green corn.
Up until like the age of 9 years old, I would throw up at the table. Do not make me eat anything I do not want to eat. I will throw up right here. And I used to do it. They used to call me anorexic.
I secretly threw out a piece of chicken one time, tried to throw it under like a napkin. My mom found it, rinsed it off, put it right back on the plate. Like, you go ahead and finish that. You know, we wasted food. You know how many people don't eat in this world?
I can't believe I used to do that. Yo, my kids are gonna give me hell.
Yeah.
Like, I used to physically make myself throw up at the table.
Sins of the parents fall on the children twice as hard. I think that's what she say all the time.
How crazy is that? My mother probably was looking at me like, you little motherfucker.
I can hear her saying that too.
So, here at Tish and Friends, we play a game called Hit Me With It or Miss Me With It.
Hit me with your best shot.
Fire away.
Yeah, suburban girl, you know it.
So,
Act like you know your roots.
So, hit me with it or miss me with it. I'm gonna name something. If you like it, you're gonna say hit me with it. If you don't like it, you're gonna say miss me with it, and you're gonna tell me why. Okay?
What's that?
Nope.
I saw that first card. Don't you dare.
Alright.
Okay, good.
Hit me with it or miss me with it. Social media.
Hit me with it.
Why?
Wait, hit me means I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great opportunity to connect with people. You know, I found my my uncle, my long lost uncle, who's a year older than me on Facebook, and we worked at the same job in the same building. And I hadn't seen him since I was like 7. And I just like typed in his name one day, and I saw the profile picture, and my cousin had the same type of baby picture, and I was like, if you know who such is, like, write me back. And he wrote me back. He was like, oh, that's your mom? He was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, look, I work in Queens. He's like, so do I. At time was so do I. It was so weird to see my uncle at my same job that I worked at.
Wow.
Power of social media.
That's a story for you. Hit me with it or miss me with it. All white parties.
Miss me with that shit. Because I ain't following no directions. I lost a friendship because I didn't want to wear a matching shirt on a bus ride. That's a story for a different day.
That's ridiculous.
I don't want to look like everybody else.
Come on, people.
You know me, I'm gonna cut off one sleeve and try to rock that. I'm trying to make it something else. I ain't gonna look the same as you.
Hit me with it or miss me with it. Hashtag relationship goals.
Miss me with that.
Why?
People be having problems getting abused behind closed doors. Like, getting verbally abused every night. And you talk about relationship goals. Oh my God, I love you guys. And then they be done in 6 months. Miss me with that.
Hit me with it or miss me with it. Hot girl summer.
Hit me with it. I like a fun summer. Enjoy your summer.
Enjoy your summer.
Enjoy it,
Get your rocks off.
Have at it.
And last, hit me with it or miss me with it. Bill Cosby. Problematic fave.
You can swing, but you won't hit me. How fuck like that?
What?
So you miss me, but you tried to hit me. I mean, Bill Cosby. I mean, it is what it is. I know people be like, I can't separate the two. The Cosby Show was what it was. Like, it's not like I'm out here trying to like watch episodes every day. But if I catch it and it's on, I'm gonna watch it. Like, because you can't take from Felicia Rashad and Malcolm Jamal Warner and everybody else who was on that show who made it great. And Bill Cosby, he wasn't even the funniest on there. He wasn't even the funniest. I mean, he was the funniest when it came to jokes, but when it came to memorable moments of the Cosby Show, like Bill Cosby wasn't in them.
Yeah, I can't really think of a memorable moment.
You remember when Vanessa was getting drunk, or Theo got the earring, or Raven Simone?
Or remember when Keisha Knight Pulliam was when Rudy did the baby.
Oh yeah. Classic moment. Where she wore that sweater that Claire told her not to wear.
Or when Theo had the garden gartrell.
Oh, classic. The worst Cosby episode was when they birthed those subs, those sandwiches. That's the worst. And I've read about it. They say that's the worst one, like on record of the Cosby.
Wow, like worst ratings.
When
and
like,
everything.
what's Sandra's husband? Him, and then Denise's husband, who used to be Sandra's boyfriend originally. He played 2 parts in the Cosby Show. Remember
Wait,
that?
Say that again?
Remember Denise's husband, Raven Simone's dad.
Okay.
He also used to date Sandra, like in the earlier episodes. He was Sandra's
boyfriend. Did they work that into the script? Or they just acted like people didn't
know they wanted to get everybody who was black on the Cosby Show at that time.
Wow.
There's mad appearances when you look back.
That's something. Well, it was fun. I had so much fun having you. Thank you for joining us. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on the gram, mushking__. It's, and the CWF Network, CWFP_. Hit us up on the CWF Network hotline, 347-719-3350. Leave us a message.
Say it a little slower. 347.
The hotline don't hit if you say it slow. 347-719-3350. Leave us a message. Or find us on Spotify, CWF Network. Apple Podcasts, we're right there.
Okay.
4 shows a week. 2 times with your boy. Story to tell. Conversation with friends.
Shine a light on us.
They need all the likes. They need all the likes for the kid. I need to shake these knees out today. Do a little 2-step. A little rusty.